Hello and good morning. I am here again. I am super tired. This is Andy McCann, your host. We are trying to help you lay a firm foundation in fitness, food, and finances. Today is going to be kind of food, but I guess some fitness as well. And then next week I'm going to do some finances. Okay, so I'm going to do some preamble stuff. We're going to talk about the CrossFit Open and a few other things. And then the meat of today's story is, can you do long endurance races on carnivore? Spoiler, the answer is yes. Evie and I just did that. But I'm going to tell you how and what I think about it. And I'm struggling right now today. It's 2 days later, and I'll get into some of that. Okay. So first thing is the, obviously if you're watching this, then you can see us here. If you're listening, then I'm going to describe some stuff. Go to our website. Anybody that finds us, we're here in Woodstock, Georgia, CrossFitGarage.com. You can actually come to our gym if you're local. If you're not, there's a couple options. One, if you go to gym info and then WOD, workout of the day, you can actually see the workout for a home option. So that's an option. That's totally free. Just do that. I don't care. Go use our stuff. The other one is we have got some links that I put up for a show that I'm an expert counsel for, the Survival Podcast. And so if you're interested in carnivore, the 60 easy, 32 at-home workouts, regaining your mobility, exercising at your desk, a home test, it might even fit our podcast, or getting into the next thing, which is garagefitness.online. You can find that at crossfitgarage.com/TSPC, the Survival Podcast. So it's a thing I do for them. But if you click on the Garage Fitness because you're like, hey, I have a gym at my house or in my basement, we have put together garagefitness.online, where basically you get to do what we do, except in your home. So Brendan Phillips does the programming, and Charles and I do the background work. Okay, so you can watch us online or on YouTube, Andy McCann 42. You can listen to the podcast. If you go search for Food, Fitness, Finance, you will find us. It's got the G and my face on it, so it's pretty easy to see. And this weekend, Evie and I did the Can Do Adventure Race. I'm going to cover some of that in a little bit. And this coming weekend, she and I and Coach Jordan are going to do the OMAR, the Oak Mountain Adventure Race. It's over in Birmingham, and it's a 10-hour race. And you're thinking, how can you do that? That's right. CrossFit works. I only do CrossFit, and the whole reason I started doing it was so I could do these adventure races, and it's been working. It's great. I love it. Eddie had a team at the Swamp Fox as well, and we'll talk about that. He has the normal training. I do CrossFit. Evie does, I'm 16 and cross country, and I sort of work out, but being 16, you can kind of just jump into these things. If you're ever interested in an adventure like this, we do a lot of them. I would love to have you along. Okay, now into the CrossFit Games. So there's some fun stuff. The CrossFit Games is now ended, and most of our scores are in. Technically, you can turn in some scores tonight. So for our gym, Joe Smith has crushed it. He ended up with, I think, every single one he had first place. Yeah. So he got first place in a gym for men all the way through. For those that had signed up, there was a couple like Matt Capron who did not sign up for the Open, but did the workouts, and he crushed several of them pretty handedly. In second place is this old guy right here, just proving that CrossFit does work. You don't have to do anything crazy, just do it. Now, I'll admit, on the 25.3, I had a race coming up, so I did it Thursday at like 4 o'clock, as fast as I could in terms of when they announced it, just sat down and started going. And I went pretty easy. Could I have done more? Yes. Should I? Nah. My big thing is solving one problem at a time. The problem I wanted to solve was I wanted to be able to race with Evie, and I don't want to be crushed. And the last 2 workouts did get me pretty good. So I didn't finish, but I was able to tell everyone else, hey, I think you could finish this if ... Anyway, it's a lot of fun to do these things. Louis coming in third. We've got Vinay, who's on loan to us from somewhere up north, Cincinnati or Ohio. Coach Josh in fifth. Alan Lindsay, Coach Alan in sixth. Coach Chris, look at all these coaches, man. In seventh. Jared Taylor in eighth. Sam Ponce in ninth. Skylar 10th. Nick Lubbers 11th. Stuart Brady, he's got 12th, and I think is the leader for the scaled group. And then we got a couple people who forgot to put scores in. So John, Thomas, and Jordan. On the ladies' side for our gym, drum roll, please. Sharon crushing this thing. Caroline coming in right behind her. And then Kate and Akila. Good job, ladies. It is not that easy to do some of these movements RX. So I love that you guys are fighting for that and doing what you can. Okay, so the next fun bit in the open is you get to compare yourself against the people in the world. Now, I know when I'm doing this video, technically people could still turn in their scores tonight, so this will change a bit. So I find it fascinating that my placement has basically, I've done better through time. It could be because more people are working out and doing the events, or, I think a better one would be the percentages if they gave you a percent. So I have, let's see, the best one I've got, the recent best one was 2017. I was, 17,000th for men RX. Anyway, so then it crept way up, and then this year was my best one since then. So for all the men in the world, I was 20, I don't even know how to say that, 21,599th. So, not as good as before, but better than some other time. So in 2020, when everyone was doing stuff online, I was 97,000th. Okay. Other fun stuff you can look at around the world. You can do it by region. I don't really care about the region, but I do like the US. So I could also see by age. So for the US men, I was 8,253rd, which, looking down the list, is my best score. So I have gotten fitter, or some people dropped out. I don't know. I'd have to go back and really do some digging. But it does make me feel good that, hey, this junk works. I literally just do the workout of the day, and that's it. Then on the men, so my 50 to 54 age group, I am 159th, which last year I had a better showing because I guess I was 50. But yeah, so anyway, last year I did a better showing. This year, still 159th, pretty good. Out of all the people that are 50 to 54 in the world, there I am. All right, let me move on. So some of the cool things for you guys. I'm not going to read through all these like I did last time. I'm just going to throw down some highlights. Matt Caperon crushed this workout at 15:31. Joe redid it a couple times, or maybe just twice. 18:26. Way to go. Andy Wilson, 19:05. And then we have everyone that kind of went through the ties. So my brother Charles, you clicked RX. I know you did not do that RX, so you would have to undo that. But good job. So a fun little tidbit. My brother Charles and Cam, another buddy of mine from Georgia Tech, we got like a 5-guy Georgia Tech group, and 3 of us are doing CrossFit. So Cam threw down the gauntlet and said, hey, I did this scaled. You do this scaled, and let's see how we compare. So Charles was able to oust Cam by a few bits and a few reps, and it just makes it a lot of fun. Let's see. We got, actually, I can't go through these. Everybody's ranked 4th because we all did it in 20 minutes. And then there's the numbers beneath it, which aren't organized at all. All right. So on the female side, again, Sharon, 18:58. Nice job. She's got 2 scores in there. She bettered herself by about 10 seconds. And then looks like none of the other girls were able to finish this, which it's a disadvantage to them because it was the same amount of rowing for everybody. And girls are going to pull a little bit slower. I bet you if we asked Josh, how did you do on that row? He probably killed the row. Yeah, he didn't actually put his row time in there. It would have been fun to see. Anyway, good stuff, guys. I know Alan and Jeff and a couple others did it on the Saturday. All right. So also, Bria has taken some photos, and I put that on Facebook. You can find all the photos from Heat 1. I think she did Heat 2. There's a lot of sweet pictures. I mean, there's some good ones. Andy Wilson, that's it. You on your toes, pulling the bar up above the hips on the clean. Dude, that is beautiful. There's some good shots, good action shots, nice faces. Jared, yeah, look at that face of strain. I love it. Oh, yeah, there's some good stuff. Oh, look at that. He's looking at the clock going, oh, I think I'm going to throw up. Yeah, you could definitely tell. Look at these faces. All right, so go find the link and look at yourself. There's only Heat 1 from Friday is in there. All right, other fun stuff. Like I said, we're going to talk about carnivore and endurance racing. So what are we at? 10 minutes. We got to it at the 10-minute mark. I like to do these adventure races. Basically, think of a triathlon, but for a redneck. So you were going to jog, mountain bike, and canoe to get checkpoints in the woods. Those watching on video, you can see this is Can-Do. They put on the Swamp Fox. And maybe you could see, there you go. There's an orange triangle box flag, and you're looking for that, and they've got a stamp on it, and you basically do a hole punch of a certain type into your passport. And that's how you go through the course. So it's not only how fast did you do it, but it's also cerebral. How did you find the checkpoints and did you make the best route choices and so forth? So I love that because I don't need to be the fittest. I just need to, I need to be fit and I need to be smart. But I enjoy getting out of the woods. So Evie went with me. Dads, man, I'm going to tell you, if you can get your daughter to do an adventure with you, do it. Cut out of work, whatever you need to do. Craig does a cool one. He takes a kid on any trip they want to go to, I think when they turn 13. Fantastic. I don't know if, he's got 5 kids, so that's, that could take depending what they pick, that could be expensive, I suppose. But these adventure races are typically close. This one is is north of Charleston, South Carolina, so it's a bit of a drive. But the one that's coming up, the Omar that I mentioned, right here, this guy is in Oak Mountain, which is just outside of Birmingham. So it's an easy drive, plus you get a time change. Evie and I will be doing that, and Coach Jordan will be joining us. Okay, so you guys know I'm 9 months now carnivore. I basically eat maybe 1 carb a day, and it comes out of the cheese I eat. Is that effective, and can you do what we're doing? The answer is yes. You could do endurance races. And I asked, I use Brave browser, so I asked it, hey, can you do adventure or endurance races on carnivore? Of course, I spelled it wrong. It corrected it for me. Thank you. And interesting, I didn't know this. It said, yes, I knew this part. Yes, you could. And it said that some runners have reported personal bests in endurance events, suggesting that a meat-centric diet may provide adequate fuel for athletic endeavors for certain individuals. So, is it good for all? I don't know. So what is it? It's just a story I've got. If you find enough stories, then it becomes something else, right? Does it become mainstream? I don't know. How many stories does it take? I know a lot of people, I don't know a lot. I know several people doing it this way as well. And it does work. I will admit, in a CrossFit workout, usually around minute 2, I feel strange and then I'm okay. And I know I'm still moving okay because I see everybody that I work out next to me and I'm like, yeah, this stuff works. Okay, so what do I use on the race so that I can actually eat meat? And I do eat cheese. It can get a little dicey because these races, typically, you don't have a central transition area. Typically what happens is they say, hey, carry all your food with you. Or they say, give us your food, we'll move it out to a place like halfway through the race and you can resupply there. So it can get a bit dicey. If you're the type of person that says, hey, if meat is warm, then I shouldn't eat it, you probably will never do what I'm doing. So Evie and I use wagon wheels. It's just a piece of meat and a cheese and you roll it up. And I'll put 2 of those in a snack bag, Ziploc bag. And when we reach in, I grab them and she gets one, I get one, and we eat those things. I've got some pickles in there. I got other stuff for her that she'll eat, Nutella and, other crackers and whatever, Oreo cookies. I don't need any of that. I also found this this piece of food at Costco called a beef stick. So I was like, all right, let me try this beef stick. Amazingly, this beef stick only has 4 ingredients and the casing is lamb, which is good for me because I don't eat pork. So typically they put them in a pork casing. These things are pretty good. They're probably too long. I probably should have divided them in half ahead of time and put them in a smaller bag. But she and I both ate those, and it was supposed to be my food, but she's like, yeah, they're pretty good. So, of course, I'm going to let my daughter eat that. I brought some hard-boiled eggs, and what else did I bring? I had I had my standard peanut butter or almond butter in a bag. So yeah, there's probably some carbs in that, not much. It's basically protein and fat. Actually, I can look that up real quick. So I use these Justin's classic almond butter. And if you look at the fat, 19 grams of fat in a little packet. And cholesterol, sodium, I don't care about that. Dietary fiber, so carbohydrates. So it's got 5 grams and 2 tablespoons. Yeah, so there's, okay, I lied a little bit there then. No sugars, but there is some carbohydrates inside of the nut, which I guess makes sense because it is fibrous. But anyway, so I use that guy right there. The little packets, just tear them open and suck that baby down. Let's see, actually, I wonder if it's, 1.5 ounces. Does it change the dietary? No, it didn't. Oh, it does. There you go. Let's see how many. Nah, it didn't change it. Okay, so I use that. The races are pretty cool. Like I said, you have to make decisions. It's definitely helpful to have somebody on your team, maybe another person that actually can read the map. And we plugged through. She would reach into my backpack when it was time to eat, or I could reach into hers. We kind of like split the food between us, and we eat that. I do use caffeine, so let me pull that up real quick. It's this guy right here. It's a Kirkland Signature Cold Brew coffee, 100% Colombian. And usually I'll keep those pretty cold and throw them in my packet. It sort of keeps the meat and other stuff cold, but I do use this, so it doesn't hurt to have caffeine or something to boost you up. I do have some caffeine pills, but I'd rather drink something because I need to be hydrated anyway. So pretty much it's meat, cheese, beef, turkey, and I think that was actually it, beef and turkey. And I guess we had lambskin, right, for the casing. And then this right here. We do take a lot of electrolytes. You need that as well. Let me show you the ones I take. This guy right here, Hammer Nutrition Enduralites Electrolyte Replacement Full Spectrum Formula. They do have one that's doubled. It's times 2 strength. I don't do that one because me and Eddie have tried those, or Eddie and I have tried those, yeah. Eddie and I have tried those, and it really messes up your stomach. So these ones right here are pretty good. Typically what I'm going to do is do 2 at the top of the hour and 2 at the bottom of the hour. Yes, that's a lot of electrolytes. Do I need that much? I find when I do less, I get a little bit crampy. So yes, especially when you're doing carnivore, you just need to replenish those minerals and salts a lot faster. This particular race was kind of cool, so we didn't sweat as much, so not as bad, but it is 12 hours of movement. We started the race at 7 a.m. and we came into the finish line at 6:30, so we had 30 minutes to spare, but we did skip one checkpoint. We blew past it, and I was like, hey, do you want to go back and get it? And she said, nah, so we just kept going. I loaded some YouTube shorts and put some stuff on Facebook and Instagram, so you can take a peek at those, see what the race kind of looks like. Obviously, I'm only videoing when it makes sense because I can't video when I bike, and I'm not going to video out in the ocean when we're paddling down the intercoastal because I don't want to drop my phone. So you didn't get to see any of that, but you can at least see we're having fun and enjoying it. I think some of you guys in the gym would love this, and if you're not even in the gym, you're like, oh, it sounds like an adventure. I'd like to try it. For sure. If you're part of the TSP community, this is neat stuff about survival. Can you even read a map? Probably the answer is no. Can you actually make it through the woods for a while? Probably the answer is maybe. So it gives you a chance to actually check some of that stuff out. Okay, so we packed, let's see, how many things did I eat? I probably had 4 eggs, hard-boiled eggs, 6 wagon wheels, and 3 beef sticks, and then probably 4 packs of the Justin's almond butter. And I think that was it. A lot of water. Let's see, I probably did 4 liters of water. So probably could have drinking more. But yeah, so it's not too terrible, not too tough. If you're thinking to yourself, well, I'd like to give carnivore a try, but I really like endurance racing. I'm just saying it's possible. It takes some time. You can't do it right away. You've got to give yourself the ability to, your body to learn to burn fat. And I'm not against actually using some carbs while you're out there if you want to try like going carb light. The thing is, carbs don't have to be your only energy source. They do short bursty energy, whereas fat goes a lot longer, right? So I eat a lot of fat while I'm out there. Probably next time I'm going to bring a stick of butter and maybe something like a beef bacon that's got even more fat, or maybe some ribeye that's cut up so I get some more fat. Because you don't really use protein for the energy, you use the fat. You got to like burn through all your carbs, all your fat to finally get to protein. And so that's basically muscle building. But I figured, I like protein. I'm going to eat that anyway. Probably be better for me to go heavier on the fat when doing these races. All right, guys. So we have another race coming up. I'll try to do a better job making some videos because Jordan will be out there and probably be a little bit easier for me to take my hand off the stick and, do some videoing. It's a lot more mountainous, so we will be going slower. The race out in Charleston or near Charleston is flat because it's Charleston near the ocean, and it makes it a whole lot easier to do the racing. Guys, if you are local to Woodstock, come out and see us. We love new people coming in, and we love helping people get fit. My goal is to find everybody out there that's looking to be or thinks of themselves as a happy, humble, helpful person who wants to be healthy and fit now as well as in their 90s, and we're going to help you get there. We do use CrossFit as the hack. You could do something else at the gym. It's not a great hack if you do something else. CrossFit gives you the best bang for the buck, and that's what we're going for. Guys, I am here for you. If you need anything, my email address is andy@crossfitgarage.com. And if you've got questions, like I have a episode out there with Evan talking about his Crohn's and how he fought it with the lion diet, eating this way. And a random guy listened to the podcast. His name is Don, and he said, hey, I've got an issue with my 17-year-old son that sounds very similar. I'd like to talk. Guys, this is why we do the podcast. We want to help. My favorite line I got from Chris Cooper is help first. What can I do? I don't have great with emotions. I don't have greatness with, right now, like with verbal stuff, but I can show up and I can do. So if you're in a pickle and you need some help, just give me a call or an email. Y'all take care.